Hey, perfect spirit. I'm Sam, the Miracle Man. Now let's create a miracle in your life right here, right now. Time's ticking down. Let's do this right here, right now. No time to waste. So I got a viewer question today. So let's dive into this question today. And please send me questions. I don't know what's going to come up out of these or what's going to rise up, but here's the question. Yeah, so people can ask me the craziest things. I won't know until I sit there and just see what arises. Is the best way I can explain it. Can you talk about friendship and loneliness? I've lost many friends over the last few years, but haven't been able to make new friends. Okay, so friendship and loneliness. I'm not sure what you meant by about losing friends. So let's dive into losing friends and the reasons that we lose friends. Over time, people do transition out of this form and back to perfect spirit. And it's natural when they fade away or transition, then it's natural to have that sense of grief, of missing them. And there is no right way to grieve. There's no right way to honor them, to keep their memory alive. It's a very personal journey. So if that's the case, just take the time to honor them. But if it's just over time people depart or fade away or just move away, whatever it may be, then that's a different situation. I know my own case, when I healed myself, everyone that I knew in the past sort of got washed away because I was no longer in the vibration that things are happening to me. Life is so hard. Life is so difficult. All those kind of stories. I was more in this other framework, this positive framework, like, let's do this, being the cheerleaders, the supporter of life, that nothing is happening to you. Everything's happening for your benefit. And a lot of people can't see that. So they'd rather stay in their negativity. So we sort of repel people, and that's one way we lose friendships. But it is hard sometimes when you have these people around, this community, and suddenly they're not here anymore. It's like, where'd they go? And that does create a lot of loneliness, a lot of separation anxiety, if you will. But we just have to realize, everything's in perfect order in ways that we can't explain, that there's a longing to make these friendships. Then set that as an intention, and your tribe will find you. It's a little more challenging now with COVID and all of the social distancing and all the isolation they have in place. But you can still find people online, through all these social media channels. But it is different from the human contacts. You can't really go to meetups and events. It's really difficult now. So it's really trying to find that community that resonates with you and your frequency and your harmony. But typically that's why people are no longer around, because you're no longer in that frequency that they're in. Most of society's in a victim mentality, and I'm definitely not there. So my choices of friends, if you will, is limited. But that's fine, because I know everything is in perfect order when it doesn't seem this way. Because mine has all these stories and conditions that this should be this way, this should be this way, this should be this way. Another thing that happens as well, as we go through age, if you will, we start accumulating more head trash, more things to do, this ever-growing to-do list. So we don't have time to enjoy life. So we really need to strip away this so we can really enjoy life, that life is here to be enjoyed, to be embraced, to celebrate. But we get lost in this. And that also creates, more separation, more loneliness, because we're so caught up in here, we forget that life is about the human connection, is about the relationships. And when the mind gets into this state of separations and things don't seem quite right, it really feels like the energy of grief. And there is no right way to grieve. It's really about keeping your own center and finding your own center, your perfect spirit, your consciousness. But it is a practice of just realizing the people that need to be in your life will be in your life. because there are no mistakes in the universe. So things are a little lonely right now. Just relax and just be you and realize your tribe will show up. You don't want to force friendships, especially if they're in a wrong frequency, wrong vibration. There's going to be a mismatch there. And friendships should be enjoyable, should be uplifting, laughter, having fun. And if you're not the right frequency, you're just going to butt heads. There's not going to be any harmony. So you just relax. That's the biggest thing, is just relax. Just find your own center. Be at peace with yourself. And those around you will be attracted to you if you're in their frequency, in their vibration. We're like a magnet, if you will. We attract those people with the same energies. There's an attraction there. But if one person's positive, one is negative, you butt heads and they sort of repel each other like a magnet. They don't come together. There's a repelling force there. But if you're in the right vibration, there's this attraction force. So just realize that as well. That there's no quick and easy answers. Because you don't want to force friendships. You want to allow people to naturally find you. And during these COVID days, that's really a challenge with all the social distancing, with all the fear they're instilling within us, that they're really breaking down the fabric of society, that humans are meant to have relationships, to bond. I really don't know what this is going to do, all this isolation, all this separation. One thing that is certain, that depression is on the increase. Suicides are up on the increase. Because they're alone, there's no support system. Some people need that human-to-human contact to uplift them, to keep them going. That society becomes their fuel. So just see, it's a society breaking down. That it's natural to connect with like-minded people. And if they're not like-minded, it's going to be this repelling force. And that's fine too. That there's no need to force anything. Just realize the mind always wants to force. But just be the magnet, be the light, and people will gravitate toward you. Your tribe will find you. But just relax and be okay with you. There's a Wayne Dyer quote coming to me, but I don't quite have all the wording. It's something to the effect that you'll never be alone if you love the person that you're with. And that person is you. This absolute love of self. Realizing I'm perfect spirit, everyone else is perfect spirit, but we're simply not in this match. So I'm content with me, realizing it's not my issue, it's not my problem. I'm simply not a match for them. My tribe will come. Maybe I'm too isolated. How can I get out there more with these current constraints? Can I post on social media more? Maybe create Pinterest boards, Facebook, Instagram. And if that's not your thing, then that's also a challenge, because there's so much fear in society that they're going to catch something from you. It just creates this more separation, more division. But just really about relaxing, loving yourself, allowing your light to shine, and people will be attracted to your light. But if it's losing friends because, time marches on and people do transition, move on, or maybe they move on suddenly that we're not guaranteed. I know I've lost a cousin. I lost a few cousins around my age over the years. Here one day, gone the next. There's no rhyme or reason for this. I just understand that there's no mistakes in the universe, that everything's in perfect timing, even if the mind doesn't understand. And I know these relatives are on the other side, where they can do greater work, if you will. They can help orchestrate things on the other side that they couldn't do here because they were trapped in the human body or trapped in their mental condition. But just the biggest advice I'm just feeling is just to relax, love you, allow your light to radiate and shine, and people be attracted to you like a moth to a flame. There's no need to force a relationship or friendship. That's what the mind wants to do. I need to go do these things to make this happen. But that's coming from the mind. Just radiate your light and allow people to be attracted to you. So that's what I'm feeling on the friendship and the loneliness. Be your own best friend. And loneliness is coming from the mind that thinks we're separate from all things. And if it's an energy of grief, then honor that feeling. Feel into that. What's that trying to teach you, that emotion? That every experience can be our teacher if we allow it to be our teacher. So wishing you much peace, love. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.